This is the Crowley Correctional Facility, a nondescript structure sitting in the middle of the Colorado flatlands, just east of Pueblo. From the outside, this medium security prison looks like any other. But there's a huge difference here, one that is yet another sign of the outsourcing of government. Because this prison isn't run by the state, it's run by private industry, a billion-dollar company called the Corrections Corporation of America.
The notion that a corporation making a profit off this practice is more important to us than public safety or the human rights of prisoners is outrageous.
Almost 7% of America's inmates are now housed in private prisons. It's much more here in Colorado, where almost 1 in 4 inmates is in a private facility. Colorado's inmate population has exploded. It's 6 times larger than it was in 1980. As a result, the state forks over almost $95 million a year in taxpayer money to corporate jailers to house its excess prisoners. Across the country, the numbers have been growing faster than the government can build prisons. In fact, the U.S. now has the largest prisoner population in the world, 2.3 million people behind bars, more than Russia, more than China. As the industry grows, so does a backlash from critics who argue that these private prisons are not only morally wrong, but unsafe for both inmates and the people who are paid to guard them.
I started in the system as a corrections officer.
Donna Como has been here on the front lines of this debate, working for both Colorado state prisons and the Crowley private prison.
From my personal experience, state facilities had lower assault rates. State facilities had lower incidence of staff turnover. State facilities generally have a better level and a better degree of programming and opportunities for rehabilitation for offenders.
Are private prisons more violent? There is no standard reporting system to compare violent incidents in private and public prisons. But several years ago, the Justice Department published an astonishing report. There were 49% more staff assaults and 65% more prisoner assaults in private facilities. Is there a difference in safety between working for a state facility or a private facility?
When I started brand new in corrections in a state facility, it was a little scary. But after about a month, I finally figured, it didn't take me very long to figure out that no matter where I went, there was somebody watching. There were always eyes. So you didn't have that huge fear. You always have some fear working in that environment, but I didn't have a huge fear.
What's going on for you right now? How come you're getting upset?
It makes me angry.
What does? Tell me.
Well, in a state facility, you don't worry about getting hurt. But in a private, you better worry. You better worry.
Como was so worried that she reported serious security lapses at Crowley to her superiors. But then she began to worry about her own safety. One day, in 2003, she was sent to remove a dangerous prisoner from his cell. And when she called for backup, nobody came to help, she says, leaving her alone and unprotected for half an hour.
When I left, I sat 28 minutes with no responders, with a volatile inmate, and a brand new staff member who was scared, so he took off down the tier on me.
Donna Como quit in 2003 and sued the Corrections Corporation, saying she'd suffered retaliation and sex discrimination after reporting security violations. She later settled. But one night in 2004, a major prisoner riot blazed through Crowley. Some of the overwhelmed guards ran away, and outside law enforcement had to put down the uprising. A state report later found that the facility was not fully staffed and didn't follow fundamental security measures. Inmates were angry over bad food and inappropriate use of force. Low pay contributed to a high staff attrition.